Hello, it's Deborah from the Attic. Today we're going to be talking about the wonderful world of tags. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please go and check out some of the other videos that I have available and subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. Tags are something that I absolutely love to make, and when I'm lacking inspiration or I'm just sitting in the craft room and I'm trying to come up with ideas for what to do, quite often I'll be sitting making a little tag in the background, and I'll be experimenting with different ways that I can create tuck spots and different ways to create texture and interest and layering and collaging effects, and I'll be looking for ways to use up some of the other things that I have in my stash, like ribbon or fabric, or maybe some beads or some charms, paper clips, anything like that that I can use on a tag. I'll try and find a way to do it. In this video, I'm going to share my top tips for creating texture, layers and interest on your tags, and I'm also going to provide you with like a little crib sheet so that if you want a prompt, you think, oh, I want to make a tag but I want to do something a little bit different, I've got a set of prompts that will get you through any creative blocks that you might have or lead you on to the next level of your creativity. You can use any papers that you have in your stash. I'm going to be using a new set of tags I've created, which will be in my Etsy shop, and I'll provide a link below this video so that you can find that and anything else that I use through the course of this video. And I've made these deliberately to reflect all the lovely birdsong that I've got going on around me, but I've used vintage images and vintage colours, which I think work really nicely together. This really soft grey and the soft blue, which is almost a grey, knocking on the door of grey but not quite, and then these sepia tones that all match in beautifully with it. I've added some numbers. These are just random numbers that you can use to create a little bit of extra detail on your tags for interest. There are also some dates, again, fairly random dates. There is actually a pattern to these. I'll be interested to see if anybody can detect it. And then some little words. And all of these colours all match together beautifully. When I was creating this set of tags, what I had in mind was a dark background and then a light front ground. So I was thinking about something in the foreground, something being the focal point. And what I had in my mind was die cuts. I've got some really nice die cuts of wildflowers and things like that that I thought would look great against a dark background. But I thought, how can I get that into a tag? Because if you don't have a particular die, how would you do that? How would you represent it in a tag? And I found a way to take these bird images and images with little nests and add an extreme level of white contrast to them. That means that you get this nice contrast between the dark background and the light foreground. And this one I'm particularly pleased with. This I wanted to look like almost like etching on glass, and I think I've achieved it with this image. So I rather like that, and I'm looking forward to working with it. The final page that I have has got some ticket style words and little phrases that are appropriate to the tags. And then there are some almost like washi tapes. These are 1 inch wide. And then I have these plaques with some bird related things on them in the background as well. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be using this brown paper bag that I recently got some shopping in. And that's going to form the basis of my tag backgrounds. I'm going to talk you through each of these tags, but just let me begin by showing you a bonus sheet that I decided to add to the kit as I was working my way through these tags. I thought it'd be really useful just to have a quick template reference, so that if you're thinking about making a tag and you're looking for a quick idea, you've got a sheet to refer to, and there are 9 examples of ways that you can lay out tags on this bonus sheet. And then there's also a little box at the bottom to remind you of all the other things that you can use to add interest to your tags, like scraps of fabric, lace, ribbon, photos, torn paper, beads, charms and book pages, etc, etc, etc. But this is just a quick aid memoir or a little prompt when you're making tags. And this is included as a free bonus as part of the kit. So I'm going to work my way through these tags, showing you examples of each of these. So let's start with the first 3. A plain tag I'm not going to show you because you know what a plain tag is. So I'm going to show you the one with a little tuck spot at the bottom and then one with a deeper pocket, and you can see the difference represented visually. So here's one that I've made with a little shallow pocket at the bottom, and you can tuck quite a lot into that little pocket, and it's just a piece that I've cut from another of the tags, and I've glued it down the sides and along the bottom. You could also stitch this if you wanted to add some texture. I've popped a little ribbon in the top, and I've also cut out some of the ephemera to show you how it looks when it's all layered up in that tag. And this is the deeper tag, which brings the pocket to sort of halfway up, and you can tuck a little bit more in there. And I've stitched this one down the outside, and I've also used my brown paper bag. In this tag, I've used it as a backing for the main tag, and I've stitched all around, then I've added the pocket, and you can see how that looks and how effective that is. Coming back to my template sample then, the next one I want to show you is a tag with 2 pockets, a tag with a side pocket, and a tag with a corner pocket. So the one with the 2 pockets is this one here, and this is where I've added more texture by using lace, and I've put lace at the top of each of the new little fresh pockets, and I've got a couple of things tucked in there so you can see how that works as well, and I've stitched around it. Sometimes it's easier to show you the stitching on the reverse of a tag, and again I've added a little bit of extra interest with a ribbon. My tag with the side pocket is this one here, and I've taken one of the pieces of faux washi tape and I've glued it around this edge, the long edge, and a little bit at the bottom, and you can see how that works. You just tuck little things in there, and again I've used a little bit of my brown paper bag to back it, and this is what it looks like without any stitching on it. My corner tag is this one, and I've taken a little diagonal cut across one of the other tags, which is the same size as this one at the back, and you can see how things tuck into it, and I've also added a paper clip holding another little bit of ephemera. Coming back to my reference sheet, I'm going to show you a tag with a pouch pocket, one with a smaller top lifting tag, and a book style tag where the 2 tags are joined down their longest edge. This is my pouch pocket, and you can see the pouch is slightly smaller than the background tab, and it's just a rectangle. It's not as wide as the pocket in this tag. It stops slightly further in, and it just makes for a little bit of different interest. And you can still tuck things into it, and I've used some other elements to decorate the front. And that tag is pretty plain, that's all I've done to that one. This is the tag that's got a smaller tag on top of it, joined at the top, and you can lift it up and you can use it as a place for secret journaling. You can actually get quite imaginative with how you put these tags together, and you can keep layering and layering. I mean, for instance, you could have a pouch pocket on the front of this one, so that when the top tag is over the bottom tag, you wouldn't see that pocket, and then inside that pocket you could have little tuck spaces for secret journaling. I do like secret journaling. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I do like little things that you can tuck in and hide away, and it means that when you come back to the journal you're actually going through a little voyage of discovery, and I think that's quite nice. It's a refreshing way to use your journals. This one looks like it's secured at the top, looks like it's only one tag. I have actually popped a little smaller tag on the top of that, and that's why these tags in the kit deliberately have got the 2 different sizes to enable you to do this easily and quickly. But it does actually open like a book. I've cut out 2 white pieces of paper so that I can write on the inside of this. I've also used a tag to complete the back of this. Now, if you wanted to make this really private, you just string your ribbon through both of the little holes in the top. I've just done the ribbon through the front tag, so it's easier for me to open it out to show you. This is my final example that I wanted to show you, where I've really gone to town on the texture that you can add, and this is to give you a visual reminder of all the things that you can add to a tag. So you can add beads. These beads I've put onto a paper clip. I've opened it out, I've used some pliers to turn a little bend in the top of the wire there to stop any of the beads falling off, and if I show you the reverse, I've also put a little bend in the wire there, but that's just a paper clip, and I've threaded some matching beads onto it. I found a couple of charms in my stash and I popped those onto the front as well. I've added lots of lace, I've added lots of these ephemera elements, and I've only stuck them down in the centre so they look as if they could just lift off, and I think that's quite nice. You don't always want to have everything rigidly glued in place. On the underneath of this top tag, I've also added one of the elements that is, I've called it a lozenge, and it's one of these little pieces such as this one here. and I've just glued that to the underside so when you lift that tag up, it lifts up as well. And underneath I've got a larger tag which I've glued onto a piece of waste fabric. I've used zigzag scissors to cut along the outside of that to make sure it doesn't fray too much. And then I've also backed the whole large background tag onto a piece of my paper from my shopping bag. I've added lots more elements as well on top of that tag and a tiny little bit of lace down the side there, and lots of zigzag stitching, and I quite like to make my stitching wonky. Don't be scared of the wonk, especially on tags. It's a great idea. If you're doing patchwork, completely different story. There's no wonkiness involved at all. But for something as fun as this, you can just let your creative imagination run riot. I hope I've given you lots of ideas for ways that you can create your own tags, and I hope you'll go away and put some of these ideas into practice in your own projects. Now I'm going to say thank you very much for your time. As always, thank you for watching, and until we meet again, stay safe and take care.